Right now, a major decision from the Madison School District on COVID safety protocols for the upcoming school year. Plus, hundreds of guns and weapons recovered this weekend during the county's first buyback program. And later, school nurses learning some new potentially life-saving skills following recent mass shootings across the country. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just hours ago, the Madison School District releasing its updated COVID-19 safety measures ahead of the upcoming school year. A spokesman says the district will continue to highly recommend wearing masks indoors and on buses, but as of now, they will not be required. They add masks may again be required under the guidance of health officials or if warranted by local COVID conditions. A news release goes on to say there will be times when masking is required, and that includes when an individual is showing any symptoms of a respiratory illness, such as a cough, congestion, runny nose, or sore throat, regardless of a negative COVID test, and any individual who is on days 6 through 10 of isolation following a positive COVID test. Also developing tonight, beginning next month, Americans will have access to new vaccine boosters to fight off 2 COVID strains. Today, the White House says the new boosters will be available in early to mid-September. The shots are supposed to protect people from the BA4 and BA5 Omicron subvariants. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden also has tested positive for COVID today. That's according to the White House. She started to show cold-like symptoms just last night. Although she tested negative on a rapid test, a second PCR test did come back positive. She'll be taking Paxlovid and is isolating from her staff and others for at least 5 days. A federal appeals court says Dane County health officials did not violate free speech protections when they cited a Middleton cafe for advertising itself as a, quote, mask-free zone during the early months of the pandemic. Hellbox Coffee posted this sign back in July of 2020 saying the shop was a mask-free zone, and that was in defiance of a county mask mandate. The county cited the cafe 3 times for failing to comply, and it eventually lost its lease. Hellbox responded with a lawsuit alleging the county retaliated against the cafe for exercising free speech rights, but a 3-judge panel ruled Hellbox failed to show any evidence of retaliation. A baby girl in Madison, one of the latest children to get her first shot against COVID, a decision that simply made sense for the girl's mother, but one that many parents are struggling with or outright opposed to. Caitlin Davis spoke with that woman and a doctor who says she took the proper steps.
That was really scary. Lying there, listening to your baby cough, making sure that her next breath comes okay.
It was a helpless feeling for Florence Edwards Miller, caring for her 6-month-old daughter, Sylvia.
We had to take her to the doctor and get her some steroids to clear up her breathing.
Today, Florence was happy to take matters into her own hands, bringing her baby to the Madison Children's Museum to get her vaccinated a month after she got sick with COVID. Today's clinic at the museum offered shots for kids ages 6 months and up. Florence said, compared to COVID, this was an easy choice.
Way scarier than getting her vaccinated.
Still, many parents are scared when it comes to getting young children vaccinated. UW Health's Dr. Bill Hartman is used to talking with concerned parents.
And we do know that it's offered a great deal of protection to these kids, at least so that they can go to camp, so they can go to school, so they can do the things that little kids need to do.
And for some young children, the vaccine can mean keeping them in school.
These have been really little miracles in terms of being able to keep kids, keep adults, keep everyone out of the hospital.
The Children's Museum has now held 7 vaccination clinics, utilizing a place known for safe and educational play to show the vaccine is safe and effective in those children they serve.
At the Children's Museum, we really love being able to benefit families from not just educational play, but being a place that really gives them resources.
In Madison, Caitlin Davis, News 3 Now.
The Children's Museum says it doesn't have any more vaccine clinics planned for now, but won't rule out future ones this school year. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast now. Here's meteorologist Julian Seawright. Julian?
And we're getting our evening start on such a high note. It's not nearly as humid as it was last night. And as we continue throughout the rest of this evening, it's just going to feel even more comfortable as those temperatures continue to slide down into those 50s. Now, as of right now, a beautiful sight over the Capitol, pretty blue skies, and not a whole lot of cloud cover. Taking a look at our temperatures for today. 78 degrees was our high, and normally we're around 80 degrees, so we're pretty close to being normal around this time of year. But temperatures as of right now, 79 degrees in Janesville with 78 in Platteville, and our friends to the west and pretty much to the east are into those middle and lower 70s, and those upper 70s are still hanging around near Boscobel. Dew points, however, again, around 55 degrees in Madison and Mineral Point, just highlighting how comfortable it is for us, and the change over the last 24 hours is really the big selling point for us. A double-digit change for Janesville, which is hanging around 52 degrees in terms of dew points, and us in Madison around 6-degree change. Going into tonight, we're going to see temperatures slide into those 50s, and on top of it, plenty of open sky as well. But we are looking at our pleasant pattern to shake itself up as we get into the back end of this week, and we will talk about that in just a few moments. Until then, let's toss it back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. A woman's life was likely saved last night by a Madison police officer. Madison PD says the officer gave her Narcan after she overdosed. It's no secret opioids are a growing problem, but figuring out just how bad it's become, well, that's been its own challenge. Our Andrew Banstra in the News Center with more. Andrew?
Yeah, Eric, it's 2 times this year Public Health in Dane County has put out an overdose alert. The most recent was just a few weeks ago when there were 7 overdoses in 24 hours. That's the data we have, but we're still waiting on bigger picture data. The latest numbers of overdoses and deaths in Dane County and Madison come from 2020, almost 2 years ago. That year, more than 130 people died from overdoses in Dane County. Today, PHMDC and the DHS told us that's the most recent info they have. They do have preliminary 2020-2021 data, but neither would release it quite yet. Still, people who have been preventing overdoses locally know the truth, hard numbers or not.
The key now, and really over the last couple of years, has been the increase in synthetic opioids such as fentanyl. There's so many users out there that don't know or don't understand what they're getting anymore that really is causing what we consider to be a pretty big uptick in these overdoses.
Proving to be the deadliest problem. Experts I talked with said even longtime drug users are getting fooled by fentanyl being laced in. Just a small amount can kill you. What I did find out from people I spoke with today is that overdoses are going up each and every year in Dane County. Some fear a basic Narcan dose won't be enough to save some people. There is some good news here, though. The state is set to get $400 million in opioid settlement money, which will help pay for rehab, fentanyl test strips, Narcan, and educational campaigns. From the News Center, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Andrew, thank you. Well, check out this picture here behind me. Dane County authorities collecting more than 500, almost 600 weapons during Saturday's Gift Cards for Guns event. In total, deputies collected 577 in exchange for more than $43,000 worth of gas and grocery gift cards. Weapons included rifles, shotguns, assault-style rifles, handguns, paintball guns, even homemade weapons. In Rock County, Janesville police say they found a loaded gun on a street on the city's west side over the weekend. In a Facebook post today, Police Chief Dave Moore said that weapon had a round chambered and the safety was off. The discovery comes just a week after another loaded gun was found on the city's east side. Chief Moore said that weapon was also fire ready. School nurses are prepared to handle a lot, from taking care of a student's cold to handling shop class injuries, and now those same nurses are training to take care of gunshot wounds. Dua Israr was at a training event in La Crosse this week and shares how they're preparing.
When tragedy strikes, every second counts. La Crosse school nurses Sarah Lawrence and Melissa Kuyak are learning how to buy victims time, filling wounds with gauze and applying pressure to stop the bleed.
Really how to provide primary care in a mass situation.
One of the top causes of death from an open wound is blood loss.
There has been loss of life that wasn't necessary had there been the appropriate people in the right positions with the right training and the right tools.
The La Crosse Fire Department is training school nurses how to use Stop the Bleed kits. Nurses learn how to keep victims alive until first responders arrive.
Our outcomes are better when we have people that can fill the void from the time that we get called and get there.
The La Crosse School District purchased Stop the Bleed kits for its high schools. Other kits are available through the Health Emergency Readiness Coalition. HERC hopes to distribute 210 kits to schools region-wide.
Safety is the #1, I think, concern in our schools right now, to keep our kids safe.
The kit can be used to triage any life-threatening injury, but these nurses want to be prepared for a school shooting.
After Sandy Hook, when it really kind of seemed to hit home.
As did Uvalde, Parkland and the possibility of others still to come.
They're going to be the people that are relied upon to be leaders, to take action when there's emergencies.
That was Dua Israr reporting. Now, the ultimate goal of the program is to pass down training to other school staff members and even high school students. Still ahead at 6, how local high schoolers are getting a head start on their college careers. Plus, breaking ground at a new multi-million-dollar facility. We'll show you where it's going. That's next.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Get everything you need for your bathroom makeover at Menards. Tarkett sheet vinyl flooring is a quick and easy way to transform your bathroom. Choose from over 50 styles of waterproof sheet vinyl, all 11% off. Complete the makeover with Moen. The Hilliard faucet in a brushed nickel finish adds a touch of elegance to your bathroom. Get it for $65.86 after 11% rebate. Plus, save 11% on all Moen bath products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Made in America is more than just a slogan. It's smart policy. When we manufacture things here, our shelves are stocked, and it creates jobs you can raise a family on. Like my parents had. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I'm tired of the excuses from millionaires running the Senate. I'll bring manufacturing back here, so folks like you who actually earn your paychecks finally get a fair shot. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Madison Magazine does it again. The Best of Madison Winners list is out, and we're celebrating with the Best of Madison Taste Party Monday, August 29th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Edgewater. Enjoy music and meet some of this year's winners, plus sample local food and drinks. Log on to MadisonMagazine.com for the list of local vendors attending and order your tickets. It's Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Taste Party Monday, August 29th at the Edgewater. Get your tickets now.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe these guys will buy our house.
What could go wrong?
Like rookie home buyers who can lower or cancel offers without notice. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Decatur Dairy in Broadhead breaking ground at a new multi-million-dollar addition today. The 23,000 square foot facility will cost about $6 million. The expansion made possible in part by a recent grant from the Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection. The plant produces cheese with milk for more than 70 cooperative members across south central Wisconsin.
So what started as a simple storage shed has turned into a much more complex project that one will help keep Decatur Dairy and the future generations, along with the farmers and our future generations, an opportunity to stay competitive and successful in this dairy industry.
American Airlines is betting supersonic jets will make a comeback. The carrier reportedly placed a deposit for 20 of those jets from Boom Supersonic. The aviation company is in the first stages of developing a refined version of the aircraft. According to a press release, the earliest the jets would be unveiled would be in 2025, possibly being available for service a few years later. Campaign 2022 coverage. Now, the NBA wants you to rock the vote, so there won't be any games on November 8th, the day of the 2022 midterm elections. It's part of the league's focus on civic engagement, and there are plans to get the teams involved too. The full regular season schedule will come out tomorrow afternoon. Today is orientation day for local high school students taking part in the Education Academy. It's made for high schoolers looking to get a head start on their K-12 teaching careers. Students will take classes their junior and senior years. Their first year classes are at Middleton Cross Plains at the high school there in Middleton. And then the second year, a few classes will move over to the Madison College campus. Organizers say by the time they graduate high school, participants will have accumulated up to 30 credit hours toward an education degree at the college.
You know, right, you're not on your own. We want to give them an introduction into college. So taking them around the campus to see what it's like, and again, just making sure they understand the support that they have.
During orientation today, students were brought to Madison College's Truex campus to give introductions and meet with advisors and teachers. Still ahead at 6 when we come back, hear from a former Afghan refugee who now calls Wisconsin home after fleeing the country 1 year ago. And then we'll also check back in with meteorologist Julian Seawright, our updated complete forecast. That's next.
With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. V value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. U.
For a limited time, get free kids' glasses and eye exam only at Stanton Optical. Walk-ins welcome.
I'm a mom of 4 kids. We have 1 in high school, a toddler, and our latest addition, 7-month-old twins. I can appreciate the impacts of inflation. DC liberals just keep spending. All that money isn't free, and families are paying the price. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting to help Wisconsin families. He voted against reckless spending that caused inflation and to cut waste in Washington. Tell Senator Ron Johnson to keep fighting to stop the spending and hold DC liberals accountable.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor. I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work. We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
Trust your feet to Morgan's Shoes.
Loa Footwear, a name synonymous with premium outdoor footwear for 80-plus years. Our patented mono-wrap construction wraps the foot in a lightweight yet firmly supportive frame. We use a softer polyurethane in our midsoles that provides better shock absorption and ultimate comfort underfoot. Plus, our patented Gore-Tex liner is more durable and creates a smoother fit, thus less potential for blisters or discomfort.
Comfort with style. Trust your feet to Morgan Shoes.
Morgan Shoes, Hilldale.
Is this the new phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
I got exactly what I wanted. Big screen, big storage. I cannot remember the last time I had so many different options.
At US Cellular, new and current customers can get any phone from any brand free.
Are you actually texting them?
I don't know. I just thought I would just...
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Yesterday, Taliban fighters were seen celebrating 1 year since they took over the streets of Kabul, driving throughout the city waving flags and firearms. August 15th, now a public holiday there after the Taliban captured the capital on that day last year as the U.S. withdrew from the country after the collapse of its former government. Now, meanwhile, in Wisconsin, the Ethiopian Community Development in Wausau has helped 81 people find new homes in central Wisconsin. They have also helped the refugees find homes, jobs, and also learn English. Hannah Borkert caught up with one of them a year after leaving Afghanistan.
These napkins represent the Afghan flag.
The raid, it meant that we sacrificed a lot of soldiers. The green one, it was sign for progress.
To Adib Mowbreeze, the final color black symbolizes darkness. The Taliban takeover in August 2021 is a time he didn't think he'd see again.
We never imagined that after all this investment, we go back to the dark days, the dark nights.
1 year later, he still can't believe how years of progress vanished almost instantly.
What happened in Afghanistan, actually, that really shocked all of us.
Despite the shock and uprooting from Afghanistan, he's proud to now call Wausau home.
Before we came here, we have no idea what will be our future. But since we came to Wausau with helping ACDC and the member of the community here, right now we are having a great time here.
For him and his family, Wausau is hope.
Right now I have a lot of hopes, but I'm really concerning about the people back in Afghanistan. They are not living in a good condition.
But the date, August 15th, reminds him of the hard times still happening in his homeland.
Right now we are here and we never imagined that this is a foreign country. We think that this is like my homeland.
He and other refugees carry heavy hearts, especially on this day.
The people, they are right now here, and the member of their families back in Afghanistan, they are suffering a lot.
That was Hannah Borkert reporting. Adib and his wife have found jobs in Wausau, say their family is doing well, but people back home in Afghanistan are still in their thoughts. Well, let's go to meteorologist Julian C. right now with your certified most accurate forecast. Julian?
And we're going to be watching for the developments over the next couple of days because it's going to stay nice, quiet, and pleasant here in southern Wisconsin, but we could start to see some switch up by the time we get into our Friday. As of right now, this is our setup. High pressure systems are set up in about 3 corners throughout the Great Plains, the upper Midwest, and for parts of the Midwest in itself, mainly near the Illinois state line. But we can see just where the low pressure systems are. That's where the boundaries are set, as we have some ridging action, which is really bringing in plenty of hot temperatures and dry conditions to our friends to the west, which is where we're going to start to see those systems start to leak themselves into the upper Midwest for us by the time we roll into our Friday. As we see that dip in the jet stream, that's where we're going to see those systems rolling in, and it's going to stick around throughout the course of our weekend and going into the next week. But for us as of right now, things are going to stay rather dry, which is great news. As we head into tonight, it's going to feel pretty great. Temperatures will go into the 60s through the early night hours, and then as we go into our morning, well, we're going to see those temperatures fall into the 50s and plenty of open skies. A couple of clouds will start to develop, but then fall apart as by the time we get into our lunchtime hour. And we can see those middle 70s and upper 70s starting to take hold, and many of us are going to be very uniform into those upper 70s and the low 80s by the time we get into our 5 p.m. commutes. Still holding on to dry conditions. A couple of pop-up clouds are going to stick around for us, but overall sunshine and clear skies going into the nightly hours are going to be the real theme for us. Now, as we transition into our Thursday morning, but we're going to see potentially a couple of pop-up showers as the system starts to try to develop early into our Thursday just to the southwest, but they fall apart by the time they get near Dane County until we get into our Thursday nights. That's what we're going to be watching for, is some developments from overnights of Thursday nights into our Friday morning and Friday afternoon, which is going to be starting just where we're seeing that system really take hold of the upper Midwest. Showers and potentially even some thunderstorms continuing throughout much of our Friday and going into our Saturday as well. We're looking for a good washout throughout the rest of this weekend, especially as we get into our late Saturday night. Sunday could see a bit more breaks here or there, but overall we're still expecting a couple of showers to start to develop, especially into the southeasterly portion of southern Wisconsin, and we could see a couple of showers potentially going into our Monday and Tuesday as well. But outside of that, we are looking for healthy amounts of rainfall. This is still going to be fluctuating throughout the next couple of days. We're still trying to track exactly the timing of it, but still could see close to an inch of rainfall for many areas in southern Wisconsin, especially from La Crosse down to the Illinois state line, which would include Dane County itself. 3 things we'll need to know. Temperatures will stay in the 70s, near 80 degrees for the next couple of days. Still dry until Thursday night. And then as we head towards the weekend, that's where we're going to start to see some showers and storms starting to stick around for us and really blanket and wash out our weekend once again. But the good news is we are looking for more dry patterns heading into next week. But starting off Friday, it is going to be one of the days that you're definitely going to need your rain gear, which is also going to segue into sports because I know we have our first day or first night of Friday Night Lights, and man, it's going to be a soggy one, Jordan.
Yeah, well, coming up in sports, Packers hold their first joint practice with the Saints. Now we're going to have more from Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers on day 1 coming up after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since a great supportive care came to see me. They're taking the time to listen and talk about options for feeling better.
A Grace, caring every step of the way. If Tim Michaels is governor, here's what reproductive health care would look like in Wisconsin. Providing abortions? A felony. Exceptions in cases of rape or incest? None. Here's what Michaels says to Wisconsin women who get pregnant after being raped. To ask her to go through the birth is not unreasonable. Tim Michaels is a radical and divisive politician coming for your rights. Wisconsin women deserve better. Vote no on Tim Michaels.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You can get your smile back today. At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we make high-quality tooth replacement affordable for everyone. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or life-changing dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can help you go ahead and smile. Click or call to schedule your new smile consultation today.
Go ahead and smile.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
It's back to school time. Prep your student for success with a comprehensive eye exam.
Named one of the best food festivals in the Midwest. Tomorrow morning, Josh Sprider shows you why the annual Sweet Corn Festival is so popular.
And we're tracking rain chances for the weekend. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Turn the page on week 1 of the preseason, now putting their focus on the Saints. And today marked the first joint practice for the teams before they play each other on Friday night at Lambeau Field. And from the sounds of it, day 1 of practice was filled with a lot of intensity, but it was needed. The Pack says it's nice to be able to challenge themselves and go up against someone other than their own teammates. And in the eyes of Matt LaFleur, that's probably the biggest benefit of having these joint sessions.
Getting a different look is important because a lot of these, it's not like there's a lot of game planning that's going on, you know, prior to these practices, so it really forces you to hone in on your rules and follow your rules as a player. Throughout the course of the season, throughout the course of the preseason, certainly there's going to be a lot of unscouted looks, so it makes you just kind of stay sharp on what your rules and responsibilities are.
Well, the fun didn't end at practice. Once the Packers got into the locker room, Aaron Rodgers showed off a new addition to his locker. Yes, he's going to pull down right here a bust of Nicolas Cage. Someone Rodgers doesn't know who sent it to him yesterday. But obviously going back to joint practice, Rodgers is pretty candid about how he isn't the biggest fan of them. And while he says the offense did struggle today with a lot of errors, there is something that surprised him.
I felt like this was a great opportunity for some fights. Not that I'm encouraging them, but just, you know, that's a defense that very confident, and, you know, we're an offense that is trying to improve and doesn't want to, you know, get bullied by anybody. But everybody kept their cool, so it's surprising, but we made it through a day. I feel like I didn't see what happened at the end there without a major altercation.
Well, before tonight's game with the Dodgers, a trio of Brewers headed out to help some middle schoolers shop for back-to-school gear. Brad Boxberger, Jonathan Davis, and Mike Brasso helped the kids pick out supplies for the upcoming year. As for Game 2 at the Dodgers, Crew looking to even up the series after getting shut out last night. Brendan Woodruff is on the bump for the Crew. First pitch is coming up at 7:10. We're going to have highlights later at 10.
Hopefully they stopped over the sporting goods store and found some bats over there to use for the game. They are not hitting right now. Let's hit the ball. Final check of the forecast.
Well, things are going to be smooth until Friday. That's pretty much the theme for us. We're going to be seeing some more showers and storms, potentially rolling in by the time we get into our Friday evening as well. But man, this weekend, we're going to need that rain gear, guys.
Julian, thank you. Thanks for joining us at 6. Have a great evening, and we'll be back tonight at 10.